How are you today? This video really represents how women feel about religion and God. I've seen this happen to women very frequently when a man has discarded or left them. Are they acting in this way to keep their bubble intact? Or is God now temporarily taking the role of the man? As soon as they find another or the same man, they go back to their old ways, so I don't think they changed at all. I want to express my emotions about religious women, particularly Christian women, who think they can put a crucifix up their butt and then wipe their vagina on the sleeve of God. That demonstrates how little respect modern women have for religion. Many women also claim that they do not need feminism because they are young, attractive, and fit. Women who do not need religion are also young, attractive, and slender. Church ladies are often elderly alone or married with children for a purpose. There were many good and idealistic men present, but I've only ever met one lady in church who was categorically unattractive. It should be clear why women become such pious Christians when their lovers leave them. When a woman is rejected, her self-esteem is broken, and as a result, she is reluctant to repeat the experience in order to prevent the next guy from dubbing her. She will do whatever, up to and even converting to religion, to win over a man who will feel terrible remorse if he ever deserts her. Religious males are subject to strong peer pressure to stay with the women from other men of the same faith. If I were a woman, I would look for men in churches because I know they will be more devoted to me and I won't have to worry about being tricked. However, the vast majority of women rarely experience being betrayed. Instead, it's usually the other way around. Due to her fear of being cheated on, an unattractive woman attends church in order to feel like she is a part of the so-called community. However, when they find the so-called religious men and take control of them, things start to revert to how they were in the past, and she soon stops going unless it is Christmas or Easter. Because everyone else goes to that event, and if she isn't there, it looks bad on her. I've known men who were convinced by women they met at church to give up their beliefs. What does this mean for Chilean females? It indicates to me that they are only committed to themselves, which is especially true of religious women. In my early 20s, I dated a pious woman who spread her legs as quickly as a clam in a kettle of boiling water. Religion was merely a pretext for her to get naked and tried to entrap me with her heavenly genitalia. She reasoned that she could simply switch from one form of Christianity to another that was focused on her sacred ass. I rapidly discovered that religious ladies are the biggest traps and should be avoided at all costs. Religion is effective because when a woman meets a religious man, he is typically young, idealistic, and probably sheltered, making him much easier to trick and fall for her trick. Since the atheist who previously dropped her ass is no longer around, the religious man is a permanent substitute. Hopefully, the new guy won't leave either. A man is more susceptible to manipulation by women if he believes in God. One of the numerous reasons why men going their own way are becoming more and more attractive may be the absence of religion in modern Western culture. A man will naturally become more egotistical if he doesn't experience remorse and humiliation for not procreating, bearing fruit, and multiplying as Christianity urges. It will be harder for many women to keep their high-status males if he is childless and doesn't feel bad about pumping and dumping. Because guys can switch from one lady to another in other cultures. This kind of situation does not arise in Muslim nations because ladies are all dressed the same. Because of religion, it is supposed that all women are submissive and polite. However, the majority of these women are obviously acting religiously while only going through the motions. I'm not sure where you are, but this is the situation in Canada. Most women up here don't turn to religion after getting dumped, but it is fairly uncommon for women to return to church after being dumped. As a result of the lack of a man in their lives, they instead turn to Tinder to gain fast attention. I don't usually publish items from the Huffington Post or Huffington Post, but I felt this one was particularly significant. Moreover, according to a quotation, the number of religious women in the United States has dramatically decreased over the previous 50 years. It encapsulates the direction that religion is moving in the majority of the Western world. In general, people become less religious as our culture becomes more liberal. I'm also certain that many women joined convents in the past to connect with like-minded women, and no one would suspect them before it was okay to be a lesbian. The statistics for Catholic priests aren't much better. Reportedly, by 2020, there will only be 31,000 Catholic priests in the United States, and only half of them will be women. Between the ages of 80 and 84, there are more priests than between the ages of 30 and 34. Therefore, if Roman Catholicism is declining, all other versions of Christianity must be doing the same. After the Clone Wars, there will be more Jesus on the earth than there are priests of the Catholic Church. But getting back to nuns, there will only be about 40,000 of them in the United States by 2020, and only 10,000 of them will be under the age of 70. I'm not sure where you get your data from or where you find these women who have suddenly turned religious and who have only recently found Jesus. I'm not religious and haven't been for over 15 years, yet I am aware that a lack of religion leads to a lack of moral principles and conduct. Religion may have formerly restrained women and the majority of men, but those times are long past. Why would contemporary women revere God? When they behave in this way, I shouldn't have stayed with her for 2 years, but I did. Because I had some religious shame after losing my virginity to her. How many women, whether religious or not, would decide to stay with their relationships if their partner's health was seriously compromised? I'd bet on a very small number. I didn't leave her until I realized she didn't care about my struggles and hadn't asked. That is all I have to say for now. I appreciate you taking your daily dose of red pills, and always keep in mind that one red pill a day keeps the devil away. So cheers and have a great rest of your day.